Hey Khan Clan, Nicholas Khan here, of course, and today we are doing something interesting. Marvel's Avengers State of the Game number 2. That is what we're going over today. So let's get into this article and let's see what is coming on the pipeline. Alright, so here we are. Marvel's Avengers State of the Game Update number 2. I haven't read this yet, so we're going into this fresh basically, and we'll figure out what's coming up in the game. Now, obviously, there's something here that I really want to be able to touch on, but let's see if it's in here. I mean, I've skimmed this a little bit, but I haven't read it, so let's just start. Marvel's Avengers State of the Game Update number 2. To our community. A year ago, we embarked on an adventure together. Like any journey worth taking, there have been triumphs and tribulations, as well as lessons and learnings. Now, a year later, how we apply what we've learned and improve from it makes us better. We are best defined by the company we keep and the friends we've made along the way. Let's look briefly back at this last year and forward to what's ahead. So right off the bat here, I think it's a very balanced approach. I think it's somber enough they can recognize that the launch wasn't perfect, but it's also not been the worst thing ever. Games have launched worse, guys. So let's go on, and looks like we're going to get a bit of them talking about the year they've had, and then of course the exciting stuff, which is what's to come. So let's get into it. A year of heroes. It has been immensely rewarding to see our community assemble to master their favorite Avengers moves, min-max their stats, and coordinate strike teams with their friends. We've also been thrilled to watch the community grow and see veterans welcoming new heroes to the Avengers initiative. While what each of us has achieved on our own is impressive, the full Marvel's Avengers fanbase has performed heroic acts across the globe. Some fun stats to reflect on. So, if you want to read these stats, they're right here on the screen. It's just saying a lot of people have been playing and doing stuff. 8 billion enemies defeated. That's, wow. That's intense. But, let's keep going. It is extraordinary to see how far we've come in just 1 year. Thank you for all these victories. As for the War for Wakanda expansion, it's obvious that many are enjoying time with the king. And then some more stats for the War for Wakanda expansion, which in my opinion is the best expansion so far, and I don't think many people would disagree with me. War for Wakanda has been a tremendous return for many of our past players, as well as a welcoming gateway into Marvel's Avengers for many players' first time. The team at Crystal is proud of what we've achieved with War for Wakanda, and we hope everyone is enjoying such an immensely important character and world. See, now this I agree with. Right, because I am one of those players that came back to the game because of War for Wakanda. I mean, I came back for Kate Bishop and what was it, Taking Aim, and then I came back for Hawkeye, Clint Barton, Future Imperfect, and they had their nice moments and stuff, but War for Wakanda is the one that made me get back in and kind of be like, you know what, I think I want to keep playing. But we can talk more about my, I think, general thoughts on everything. After we finish getting through this article, so it'll just be small commentary until then. A year of growing. The year since launch has been a period of growth for our studio and team, our game, and our community. There's also been drops when it comes to the community, but I guess there has been growth too. We opened a new studio, Hello Crystal Southwest, and continue to refine our work from home environments. That's an important point. Right? Gaming and making games right now, making DLC and stuff, not just because of some other reasons that people say, you know, content got delayed and stuff because they had to work on bugs and everything, but working from home, guys, like, they had to figure out how to do all this stuff. I'm sure not every team member had a super beefy computer to work on these games. It was all in the office. So that probably makes sense for why we didn't get content as fast as we were supposed to, because of working from home conditions. Anyway, in mid-June 2021, we had a limited soft reopening of our studios, using this period as a trial run for 1 day fully reopening. Alas, as conditions have changed at each of our locations, we've adjusted those plans. Since we always put the team's health and safety first, that's important, and have extended our primarily work from home plans into early next year and beyond. We may still be apart, but we are always together. That's a nice sentiment, but I like how they're saying that, putting their workers' health is more important. Guys, I know we want new content, but it's not worth it if it's putting these workers and their families in jeopardy. There's still a lot going on. And I can't say it because I don't think YouTube likes that word still, but we all know what's still going on. We're now in the middle of the uniquely challenging task, finding the best way to support a hybrid work from both environment. Many Crystallites are eager to return to in-person collaboration rather than just online, while others have truly embraced working from the comfort of their own homes. It's been a fun challenge to optimize collaboration across these two environments, but these last 17 months have taught us that it's about going forward, facing those challenges, and together saying, we've got this, whatever it takes. The Marvel Avengers gameplay world has also grown, from grand additions like new heroes, operations, and an expansion, to refinement of quality of life updates made from our evolving understanding of how fans play and what is most desired for Marvel's Avengers. Okay, so let's zero in on this for a second. Yep, there's been more content, but to refinements and quality of life updates from our evolving understanding of how fans play and what is most desired from Marvel's Avengers. What is most desired? So I think one of the things that is most desired is variety in the environments and in the mission types. I think that's one of the biggest things, at least for me as a player, that's kind of holding me back from saying this is an amazing game. It's good, but it's not. It could be better. That's my biggest thing, is variety. And I think a lot of other players feel that too. And of course the bugs and stuff. And not just variety in heroes, but I'm talking about environments and missions and mission types. Because we are getting a pretty decent stream of new heroes. In our first State of the Game update, we identified 4 key areas of impact, and we have worked against them continuously through the past year since launch. They were performance and stability. We've greatly improved stability and squashed bugs with near weekly patches since launch. We feel the successful launch of War for Wakanda illustrates our ongoing commitment to quality. We also brought Marvel's Avengers to next-gen consoles, loaded with upgrades for no additional cost for players. Next Gen allowed for even more performance improvements, including updated visuals, improved destruction and detail, and significantly faster load times. While overall stability is strong, we know that there are still some remaining bugs that distract from the play experience. We are shifting even more of our attention to them in the near future. That's good to hear. Multiplayer slash matchmaking. In addition to improving the stability of this critical feature, we made it our goal to allow players to matchmake with a larger pool of players online. We've done this through incentivizing online play with content like Daily Quick Match XP Reward and with the recent change to make Temporal Assault permanent, allowing for multitudes of the same hero and strike teams. That's really cool. I do like that idea. And if you build your heroes differently, then it can still be balanced, even if they're the same hero. But I think having specific roles is not as important in this game as like a traditional MMO, which this is not. It has MMO-like elements in the design, right? There's probably another term for that I can't think of right now, but it's not an MMO. It's an online co-op game. We've also added quality of life features that aid in online communication, such as the ping system. Improving matchmaking in the multiplayer experience is something that we'll continue working on into the future. Rewards. Treating rewards is an ongoing effort for Marvel's Avengers, as we're constantly evaluating game telemetry and online feedback. This has come in the form of guaranteeing exotic drops through specific mission types, to adding new elements to the game, such as the cargo runner Synthoid. We've also spiced up our cosmetics with animated nameplates, and we have begun offering free items in the marketplace to show appreciation for our players. Free stuff is always nice and always cool. Rewards tuning, I think, is cool. That is something that I feel like I cannot speak to as well, just because like I'm so dense when it comes to gear in games like this. I love MMOs, I love RPGs, I love progression, but gear has never made sense to me except for in Star Wars The Old Republic. It's very intuitive for me, at least, in that game. But like anything else, like even Marvel's Avengers, like the basic stuff, it doesn't make your stats better and that kind of thing, sure. Maybe I just need to take more time looking at it to really understand it, but like gear and upgrading in that sense has always been one of the things that has not been my forte. But it's nice to hear that they're trying to make it like better for you to get good rewards, and I think it looks like they're trying to make it not as random, which the less random the better, because we all know the problems with things like loot boxes. So you know, you don't want to guess for your loot, you want to work for it. Late game content. Content for our highest leveled players is and continues to be a major area of focus for us in Marvel's Avengers. We've made refinements to existing content to make it more challenging and rewarding with even higher global stakes. Content offering fresh challenges and complex combat that requires tactical thinking for advanced players includes the Beating the Odds villain sector, featuring the Scientist Supreme's secret weapon, the Cosmic Cube. I played that mission. It was pretty fun. It's nice to see multiplayer content continuing the story, which is kind of what like games like this are supposed to do. I do like the idea that they're trying to make things harder. Like you actually need strategy and not just button mash your way through it, you know? Even though I think that's kind of what me and my friends did, but like, you know, learning bosses, their patterns, what to do to activate certain things, like that's fun. That's what this kind of stuff is built for. And it's the late game content that needs to be good, because you have a story to build yourself up, and any game like this that's kind of like the console version of an MMO style, it's the end game content. If you come from MMO gaming like me, it's end game content that's what's supposed to be the most fun, and that's where the real game begins. So it's nice to know they're working on that and trying to make it better. Customizable harm rooms have allowed for a personalized and, if desired, punishing training experience with modifiers like enemy types, numbers, environmental hazards, difficulty, and buffs. We've seen players use customizable harm rooms to slow down and learn strategies for new heroes, as well as challenge themselves with a punishing gauntlet for the heroes they've already mastered. It's a fun way to do training. It's like a tutorial without a tutorial, even though there is like a tutorial for the characters for the first one, but then you can make your own. That's cool. I haven't done a lot of it, but that's really nice. The addition of multiplayer to Mega Hives has allowed for more tactical team runs, which can help train strike teams for the big bads, Omega level threats. Our first OLT, Family Reunion, requires full 4-player strike teams at power level 145 plus to revisit the fight against the Super Adaptoid. We have seen some insane Super Adaptoid runs, and have enjoyed community members assisting others in completing it as a team. And all this has been happening in parallel with a ton of story and hero releases. Operation Kate Bishop Taking Aim, Operation Clint Barton Future Imperfect, and our recent War for Wakanda expansion added cinematic storytelling through both single player and cooperative play, extending the overall Marvel's Avengers story to over 25 hours. These content drops have also added iconic new villains, new enemies, new biomes, and more. I understand that creating boss battles is a bit more difficult, but I would like more variety in super villains that we see, and also the regular enemies as well. Fan requests have also guided our content strategy, such as reassemble campaign replay, operation replay, in reducing the Mega Hive to just 4 steps, having priority missions, grant exotics, allowing running in outposts, having multiple faction terminals and outposts, range enemy attack indicators, and just recently our UX/UI overhaul. In fact, while the UX/UI rework was very well received, we heard that there are too many clicks required to dismantle gear, so we plan to update that too. That's nice. I did notice it's like you gotta click everything and everything and everything. You gotta click on everything first before you can like delete it all, you know. So I'll be excited to see how they mess with that moving forward. This is just a quick look at some of the bigger moments over this first year and how things have progressed and evolved with everyone's time, input, and feedback. Now let's look to the promise of Marvel's Avengers' future yet to come. A year of learning. This past year has taught us so much, from showcasing what modes and missions players favor, to social media surfacing quality of life improvements needed, to forums and live streams illuminating what our players want most out of Marvel's Avengers. The North Star for our development team for the last several months has been delivering the best version of Wakanda in the Black Panther to our fans. That's good because that is not a character or world that you can screw up. We're going to talk about that a bit more with something I know is in this article, just because if you're on the internet, you can't avoid it if you're keeping tabs on this game. But we'll get to that in a minute. Now that we've launched War for Wakanda, we're shifting our attention to some other areas of the game that we want to address in the next phase. In the upcoming months, we plan to rework and improve many of the game's systems to make it more rewarding to play on an ongoing basis. At the same time, we're looking at how people are playing and analyzing what works and what we could do better. For those just entering this world, we have a slew of great cinematic content waiting for you, from the full campaigns and new operations in our recent expansion. Moving forward, our goal is to deliver more compelling Avengers Initiative content that is replayable. We know our dedicated fans want challenges worthy of the Avengers, and to get that thrill the first time and as strongly the next time they replay it or try it with a different hero in their roster. The upcoming Claw raid called Discordant Sound is a great example of what we aim to achieve with future content. More on that below. Check out our updated roadmap to see where this refined development philosophy is taking us into the next year. The road ahead. Alright, let's see what they got for us. You see that though? Right there, that's the thing I'm talking about. So, that makes me excited. Let's look at this picture a little bit. I'll just let Khan Clan, let all of you just kind of absorb it. If you want to pause it and read it, you can. Pictures are always nice. Alright, let's go. We've just rolled out 2 new permanent quests that reward players with resources for regular play in the Avengers Initiative. The daily quest, Rise and Shine, offers up fragments and upgrade modules for completion. I like that idea. The weekly quest, Up for the Challenge, will reward a fragment booster, Heroes Catalyst, and units. The goal is to reward players who are fighting the good fight with even more opportunities to powered up assembled teams. This month we'll be focusing on in-game community activities and a celebration of Marvel's Avengers 1-year anniversary. Happy anniversary to everyone, and thank you for being on this journey together from the start. I've been there from the start. I even pre-ordered it to play the beta. I've been playing on and off, but I've been there. From September 2nd to 16th, we'll reward players who log in and complete all the story-based campaigns with a celebratory nameplate. For those of you who have already completed all campaign content, the reward is granted retroactively. There will also be free items in the marketplace. Week 1, a free Iron Man outfit and anniversary bundle. Black Panther nameplate, Heroes Catalyst, and Fragment Extractor. Week 2, a free Thor outfit and an additional Heroes Catalyst. We'll also roll out 3 in-game community activities in September. First being Priority Rush missions, which allow players the chance to complete 1 priority mission every day, rather than only 1 per week. This means more chances for exotic gear. Yeah, anything you do to let players play more and get more gear is gonna make players want to play your game more. So that's good business sense. As long as the content is fun. We'll round out the month with another community activity that greatly increases the spawn rate of the Cargo Runner Synthoid, as well as a third activity offering additional rewards for completing campaign flashback missions. So redoing the campaign will give you more rewards. That's cool, makes people want to replay it. The story's pretty good. I'm excited to see where they go. I know we're building up toward this giant Kree invasion. So when they do that, I hope it's epic. Like, I hope it's so epic that it's like, oh, now you can use 8 players if you want, right? Like, just something huge. Something, like, when they get to their end game for this story, it has to be huge, right? Like, it has to be huge. Anywho, paired with an XP boosting event, all heroes will feel extra powerful by the end of September, if we play. It's a great time to jump in and rapidly boost your alt heroes or max out new ones. I need to do that. Last but not least, new MCU-inspired outfits are coming to the marketplace. Yes! Yes! That does put a smile on my face. That makes me happy. Makes me smile. That's a good thing because we all love the MCU. So yeah, we want MCU costumes. As simple as that. We're thrilled with the reception of these outfits from the community, and we're humbled to hear that we've done these iconic outfits justice. In fact, the latest is the Marvel Studios Black Panther outfit for T'Challa. We know how many players have been waiting for this one. It's a dope suit. Now, I like a lot of color in mine, but it's still a great suit. Like, just in general, I like a lot of color. The rest of the roadmap includes in-game events, new content, system updates, and of course, a certain friendly neighborhood hero coming to PlayStation consoles. Oh, that makes me so excited. Alright, I want to read more of the articles so we can get to the point where it's actually telling us about it. Alright, where was I? Yeah. All of this while we continue improving systems and quality of life features to constantly push for the best in-game experiences. So keep that feedback coming. Let's start with systems. We're systematically reworking resources and gear, upgrading fueled by player feedback. System reworks. Gear. Our improved gear upgrading, more rewarding gear, more late game focused gear, we hear you. With the upcoming power level increase, we want to make sure players can keep their hard-earned gear as they progress. The new system will allow players to upgrade epic, legendary, and exotic gear from power level 100 all the way to the new power level cap. As we continue improving gear, we are also taking a closer look at hero set gear, where it's obtained and how to improve clarity around use. We'll have more details about all this in a future blog. That makes me happy because, like I said, I'm so dense when it comes to gear in games, so improved clarity, that's something that excites me personally. Resources. We're currently working towards a more streamlined and focused approach to resources. In this new system, each resource will have a single specific purpose to help improve clarity, like how Polychroron is used exclusively for upgrading major artifacts, and upgrade modules are reserved for upgrading gear. Fragments will be the sole exception as they will remain a resource with multiple uses. We'll share more details as our plans are finalized. Earnable Cosmetics. We're adding ways to keep cosmetics through gameplay, including items that were previously only available in the marketplace. We'll talk more about the details of the systems in the coming months as they are added to the game. I would love that. More ways to get cosmetics through gameplay. You think they're gonna add stuff that's not just costumes, like hats and stuff? That would be cool. Like backpacks, if we wanted it. Claw Raid. Discordant sound and power level cap increase. We're also polishing our first raid, available in both standard and elite modes, which will offer a conclusion to Claw's story in War for Wakanda. This will be the most challenging content yet, meant to not only test the mastery of each hero, but also the well-built 4-player strike teams out there. Collaboration and observation are crucial to beating this one. Cool! Raid! That's awesome. We need stuff like that. Again, endgame content. It's about being able to do stuff with your friends that's fun and awesome, engaging and different and challenging. So I like that they put that in there. And that it should be challenging. But we'll see. You won't know until you play it. The Claw Raid features custom crafted levels, new threats that require complex and tactical combat, and stronger enemy variety themed to the villain being faced. New enemies called Echoes, sound constructs created by Claw, have been created and tailored exclusively for this experience. With a power level increase to 175 yielding more compelling drops, it is a notable example of replayable and rewarding content that fits our mantra of moving forward. This I like. Celebrating the Marvel Universe. One of the things we most love about working on Marvel's Avengers is our opportunity to celebrate exciting new content from all branches of Marvel media. We'll be offering some well-timed tie-in events coordinated with Disney Plus Marvel programs, and we'll be releasing more MCU outfits as we collaborate with each production's creative teams. That is amazing! Guys, I'm shook. In a good way. That makes me smile. They're in contact. They're talking with the actual MCU people, so they can release content and stuff that ties in and everything. That's amazing. That is amazing. Just let that sink in. Tying it more into the MCU, which we know the MCU going on a whole multiverse kick right now. Technically, the Avengers game could be a part of the MCU as a different timeline. Yo, what if had an episode that was Marvel's Avengers? That would be sick. But just the fact that they're gonna be you know, that's gonna help the game. Like, the MCU doesn't need help on the hype machine, but the game tying into MCU stuff is really gonna help people want to play it more. So that's really good on the game's end. Events. Between larger game updates, we'll be bringing back limited time events to give our new players a chance to try them out and provide everyone opportunities to earn exclusive rewards and high level gear. These events include our Corrupted Vibranium event, Red Room Takeover, Tachyon Anomaly event, and Cosmic Threat events. Events are always fun and nice. Now, here is what I have been waiting for. So excited to read about this. Let's see what we got. Finally, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Finally, there will be a new playable hero with a hero event starring Spider-Man in 2021. 2021. That's this year. Guys, the year's over halfway over. So it's coming this year. That's exciting. That is so exciting. That is awesome. I'm so excited for it. It's very sad that it's only on PlayStation platforms. That is a problem, especially for a character that's this big of a deal. But hey, at least we're getting him. At least I can get him. It makes me happy. Very happy. And beyond. We have many plans beyond this most recent roadmap update that stretch into late winter and beyond, including addressing long-standing asks, to quality of life improvements, to new heroes, villains, and more. We'll also provide updates on Patrol Mode and Omega level threat cloning labs, and we have concrete news to share. Patrol Mode? Hold up. That sounds cool. Most of all, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to digest all this information. We hope it echoes how committed we are to attacking the past issues and forging a future of new opportunities. There are still new stories to tell, new battles to fight, and new Avengers adventures to conquer. But that's for the next update. On behalf of everyone across the world who works on and plays in Marvel's Avengers, we want to extend a heartfelt thank you for playing, building, supporting, challenging, believing, and assembling. Please continue to share your feedback online. It remains our compass for the future as we are one team, one dream. Thank you. Crystal Dynamics head of studio, Scott Amos. One team, one dream. That's nice. That's a really nice way to say it. I like that. Alright guys, so let's talk about this. Most of the update was your pretty standard stuff. We're going to address bugs. We're going to put in more content. We hear you, and we're working on the stuff that will make the game more fun for you. Now, I'm really happy with how War for Wakanda turned out. I think they did good with that. And I'm just happy they didn't mess it up, because Black Panther and Wakanda, especially with how popular he is now after the movie and everything, and with sadly the passing of Chadwick Boseman and how much that character in that world means to so many people at this point, it's not something you can mess up. Was it perfect? No, but I think it's not perfect just in the way that the game itself is not perfect. I don't think it was particularly, like, it wasn't like bad beyond the problems that the game as a whole has. There wasn't anything specific to the actual expansion that I thought was particularly like bad. I thought it was pretty good. The story was good. The character is super fun to play. That's important. The character is super fun to play, and you feel dope playing him. You do. But I think some things to take away from here is that there were several things they talked about when it came to, one, clarity, and I think that's important, right? Because you have to be clear on how to do things, how to use gear, what is used for what, because the more confusion there is, the less people want to play. They also talked about variety, and that is important. They didn't talk about environments. I mean, I know they have more environments for War for Wakanda, but it's still jungles, right? The temples were cool. Like, that was different environments, but the jungles still look pretty much the same. And one of my problems, personally, as a player of this game, is that, like, everything I see looks the same. Like, all the buildings, all the bases and stuff. Like, I need more variety in what's going on around me in the background. I want a bit more variety in enemy types. You know, I know we're fighting AIM. That's kind of the whole point of the game. But just a little more variety. You know, we're getting a little bit of that, but what I want mostly when it comes to variety, when it comes to enemies, is more supervillains. I know they're harder to design because they're boss fights, but maybe just throw some lower level villains in there that aren't necessarily like bosses, but are still like recognizable enemies maybe, from organizations. Like we have AIM in there, maybe some Hydra, you know, maybe some of the Hand or other enemies like that, you know. I know you'd probably have to introduce their villains and stuff, but I just want a little more variety in how the bad guys that we're stopping look. But of course, I am so excited and happy for Spider-Man. Let me address this elephant in the room. I don't agree with him being a PlayStation exclusive, but you know, Sony owns the rights to Spider-Man gaming stuff, so there's nothing we can do about that. But I'm really excited and happy that he's coming to the game. They just need to do him right, because Spider-Man is not a character you can mess up. Spider-Man is one of the most popular superheroes of all time. I'm pretty sure that it's Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man are the top 3. So Spider-Man is not a hero you can mess up. And I love Spider-Man. He's my favorite superhero. Please do not mess him up. But I'm excited he's coming. I hope he is fun to play. And it'll be interesting, right? Because now he's going to have a move set. In the Spider-Man games that we have now, you fight just like you do in Arkham. So you're not really controlling your moves as much. You're using, the fighting buttons, and then you have your webs and stuff. But this will actually be, he has moves and combos and stuff. So that'll be fun to be able to make a Spider-Man, right? Because that's what you're doing. You're making these characters, you're building them out a certain way. And as long as they do it right, that will be exciting. But I really do think the game is heading in the right direction, focusing on fixing bugs, focusing on more variety, and I'm excited to see what comes next. Games as a service games don't become great overnight, but this is such a strong IP that I think if people stick with it long enough, it will become something truly special. But that is it for now, Con Clan. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you guys in the next video. But before you leave, don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell notification, leave a like, do all the YouTube stuff so you don't miss the awesome content coming down the pipeline. We are going to be churning out more content and different types of content, not just Let's Plays. So thank you for being a part of Con Clan from the beginning. And if you're just joining recently, welcome to the fun. This party yacht is going all around the world and we ain't stopping. So again, thank you guys so much for being here. My name is Nicholas Khan and I am out. Okay, bye.